Sure. Comment on employment. Do I see that coming back? Yeah, I do see it coming back. I think by the end of this year, early next year, we will have positive months of employment gains. All right. The unemployment rate will peak. I still think it will peak at less than 10%. Now, believe me, there's not much difference between 9, 8, and 10. But the bottom line is I don't think it will get there. I think we are peaking now. Every piece of data has turned. Even housing has turned. Housing's up for 5 months in a row. Do you know house prices are up? Even in Phoenix, they're up in the last 3 months at an annualized rate of about 18%. Now, these numbers bounce all over the place, but 15 out of 20 cities, they're up. And so anyway, I expect it to. Now, some people will argue that you can't have a recovery with the unemployment rate close to 10%. And there's a couple of ways that I would kind of argue with this point. First of all, I graduated from college in 1981. I was looking for a job in 1982, all right? And the unemployment rate in 1982 was between 10.5% and 11%. And that didn't stop 1983, 84, and 85 from being absolute rip-roaring boom years. All right, so this idea that somehow high unemployment means you can't have a recovery, that's not the way history works. I mean, there's a lot of docs in this room. I mean, I'm probably going to expose myself for an idiot, but I kind of think of the flu. And I know my doctor says there's two kinds. There's some that come in really hard and then leave really fast, and there's some that linger on, like 10 to 14 days. And so what happens is you may start to feel a little bit better, but actually that virus isn't quite gone. And so that's what it is with job losses. It's always the last thing to leave. All right? And so the economy is feeling better. We have less job losses now than we did 6 months ago every month. In fact, they're down to 200,000 a month versus 700. That's a pretty good improvement. If we kept that up in 6 months, we're going to be gaining 500,000 jobs a month if that trend were to continue. But that's what I'm saying is that's a lag, and that always shows up last. So I think we're about to turn the corner on that. I think that a lot of like Glenn Beck and Hannity and all these guys, they focus on that. And Fox, it's always about jobs, 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 jobs. That's the populism that I see. Well, it's true. It always lags. Every recession, it lags. It's the last thing to turn. But what's interesting is I think people are making a mistake if that's what they look at. It's like driving by looking in the rearview mirror. You're always looking at things worse than they really are. And so, by the way, talking about jobs always makes you look like a cold-hearted jerk analyst, kind of thing. Like, I care greatly, about this. I have a brother who's out of work right now. It's not that this hasn't affected me personally or I'm just cold and I don't care. But when you analyze the data, it's always the last thing to improve.